Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, Indiana wrestling fell to 5th-ranked Nebraska. We'll give you the recap.
And Indiana baseball took down Bradley for their first win of the season. This is Hoosier Sports Night. Hello and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Oliver Carr.
And I'm Caleb Robbins. Oliver, we got to talk about Bloomington. It's so sunny. Did you see that today?
Unbelievable weather today. Unfortunately, though, we're going to get a bit of clouds and rain over the next couple days, and it was a cloudy day for the Hoosiers as they traveled to Champaign to take on the number 8 Fighting Illini. Let's take a look at the highlights. The State Farm Center was rocking in Champaign, Illinois, as the Hoosiers won the opening tip. As Lamar Wilkerson is going to catch the ball, take a dribble, fire for a three-pointer, and hit. It was called 2 on the floor, later changed to a 3 upon review. Enright takes it down, fires to DeVries, who sets, fires, and hits. DeVries finished with 12 points on the day. As it is passed over to Josiah Miles, shakes his defenders and hits from 3. That was Josiah Miles' only three-pointer and only bucket of the afternoon. As Reed Bailey, the transfer senior from Davidson, hits a tough 2-point finish. The Hoosiers started to fall behind a little bit, hung around to about 7 points. As the Hoosiers swing it around, look inside to try and beat the zone as Tucker DeVries finds himself wide open for an easy 2-pointer. Second half, though, different story, as Sam Alexis became the first Hoosier not named Lamar Wilkerson to score in the second half with over 10 minutes remaining in the game. Tucker DeVries hits a late 3 as the Hoosiers fall by 20 points to Illinois on the road. The Hoosiers have yet another opportunity for a road-ranked win when they look to complete the series sweep over the Purdue Boilermakers. Tip-off is 8 p.m. tonight.
Indiana women's basketball fell 92-48 to number 2 UCLA on Sunday. It was a rough night for the Hoosiers, as they were outplayed on both offense and defense. IU was just coming off a tight loss to USC, which broke their 3-game conference winning streak. A problem that set Indiana back greatly was the Bruins' precision on the attack. 7 UCLA players scored double digits on the night, led by Kiki Rice with 17. Lauren Betts was also a huge asset for UCLA, as she collected 14 rebounds on top of her 16 points, securing the team's only double-double. Indiana was out-rebounded 51-24. They gave 25 points to the Bruins off of their 13 turnovers, an area that the Hoosiers have been focusing on in their recent Big Ten Conference matchups. Maya Makaluski would lead IU's offense with 13 points, followed by Lene Beaumont with 11 and Nevaeh Caffey with 10. Despite their efforts, Indiana was outshined by the Bruins, and as for UCLA, they continue to prove why they are the number 2 ranked team in college basketball. Up next, the Hoosiers come back to Bloomington to host the Oregon Ducks on Sunday.
Indiana softball traveled to Tempe, Arizona this past weekend for the Littlewood Invitational. The Hoosiers finished the weekend by splitting a pair of games with the Nevada Wolfpack. They started by winning 6-3 on Saturday, powered by a 3-run home run from senior catcher Avery Parker. The Hoosiers lost their final game out west by a score of 4-2, surrendering a pair of home runs to Wolfpack batters. The Hoosiers head back to Florida for next weekend as they take on the Finesca Memorial Tournament.
Indiana wrestling invited a tough opponent into Wilkinson Hall on Sunday, losing to Nebraska by a score of 34-5. Our Andrew Garrison has the story.
I'm Andrew Garrison for IUSTV Sports here inside Wilkinson Hall after number 6 Nebraska beat number 25 Indiana by a score of 34-5 in today's wrestling duel. Nebraska rattled off 9 consecutive victories to secure the team triumph, but the day began with a win for Indiana at 125 pounds with Jacob Moran's technical fault. Against redshirt freshman Cale Lauritsen, Moran tirelessly chased takedowns, swiftly swinging the early lead and accompanying momentum to the side of the home team. The win at 125 pounds would be the only win for the Hoosiers, as the Cornhuskers rattled off 9 straight to secure the team triumph. Despite the loss, Hoosier head coach Angel Escobedo was optimistic after the meet.
For us, it was, how can we compete against the best, and let's see if we can test them and try to win matches. And I thought, for the most part, we put ourselves in those positions. It was just the close calls, the close takedowns that just got away that kind of flip the script where they won.
Although the Hoosiers missed many opportunities to complete takedowns, the Indiana lineup never lacked a sense of urgency or intensity. Regardless of the team score, the Hoosiers fought for all 7 minutes of each and every match, drawing on the energy of the crowd every step of the way. No bout better represented that idea than the last one when freshman heavyweight Matt Kowalski overachieved against the polarizing and eccentric number 4 AJ Ferrari. Kowalski, who has competed in just 2 duels so far this year, received immense support from the home fans and battled to a regular decision loss in a match that was expected to deliver bonus points to the visiting team. Even so, the Cornhuskers won the day in emphatic fashion, continuing its trend of losing to the nation's best but blasting those ranked below them. As postseason competition nears, Indiana looks ahead to the final Big Ten duel of the season at home against Purdue on Friday night. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Andrew Garrison.
With the loss, Indiana drops to 3-4 in Big Ten action and 8-5 overall. The Hoosiers are set to host rival Purdue this Friday at Wilkinson Hall.
Tough slate of games. Coming up after the break, we crown our Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week.
And we go over baseball's win over Bradley. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
Now joining us in studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is our very own Oliver Swats.
Thanks, guys. This week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week is none other than the key attacker for the women's water polo team, Louisa Downs, after she had her 6th multi-goal game of the season in the team's routing of McKendree University 23-3. The senior, who's been a star for the now 8th overall water polo team in the country, is not only leading the team in goals scored, but assists as well. Downs is a leader for the team, and on Sunday was everywhere in the pool. She painted the corners of the net, scoring 5 goals and only 6 shots to help out her already high 68% shooting percentage while also dishing an assist in the game. The Australian native who grew up in the water is no stranger to the moment and is just getting started. The Hoosiers will get a week of rest before they'll look to keep their momentum going in a matchup against UCLA, which will start an 8-game road trip in California. I'm Oliver Swats. Back to you guys at the desk.
Indiana baseball had their home opener against Bradley Tuesday night. The Hoosiers won 15-3. Our Ethan Bonner has the recap.
After getting swept in their season opener against number 10 North Carolina, Indiana took to Bart Kaufman Field for their home opener against Bradley. It was back and forth through the first 3.5 innings. Sophomore Hogan Denny got involved early, scorching not 1, but 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats, both of which scored 2 runs.
No, it felt good. I got a couple hits this weekend. Obviously, you don't want to try to hit home runs. It always feels good to get that first home run out of the way, so definitely felt really good today.
Indiana broke open their 4-2 lead with an 8-run 4th inning. Sophomore Jake Hanley started it off after he took an RBI walk. From there, many Hoosiers continued the momentum, including an RBI single from sophomore Cooper Malamazian and a double to left center from Caleb Koski. To put the cherry on top, Hanley's first hit in Bloomington this season was an inside-the-park home run. After a misread from Bradley's left fielder, Hanley was able to sprint around the bases to cap off their first win of the 2026 campaign.
You know, we want to be a team that's hardened for conference play. We want to go play in big environments, true road series if we can, in front of a ton of people. And that's the only way you learn how to be a great team. You can't shield them. You can't hide from it. You have to go into it.
Indiana now heads down to Jacksonville, Florida this weekend to face number 2 LSU, UCF, and Notre Dame, all in a span of 3 days. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Ethan Bonner.
Indiana now heads down to Jacksonville, Florida for a 3-game trip against LSU, UCF, and Notre Dame.
This past weekend, water polo traveled to Ann Arbor for the Midwest Invite. On Saturday, the Hoosiers showed out against Mercyhurst University, winning 26-3, setting a new record for points scored. Later that day, Indiana stayed strong against Mount St. Mary's, winning 12-3. In that match, Olivia Harris had 3 goals with 3 assists to go with it. Then on Sunday, Indiana had test against number 17 ranked UC Davis. Indiana pulled off that win 13-12. Indiana finished the weekend against McKendree University, winning that one 23-3. Louisa Downs impressed with 5 goals on 6 shots. Next weekend, Indiana will travel to Los Angeles to take on USC and UCLA.
The 93rd ranked Indiana men's golf team kicked off their season playing in the Gators Invitational. The Hoosiers finished off the tournament tied for 8th place out of 18 teams, with multiple players placing in the top 30. In the hot and humid weather of Gainesville, Florida, the Hoosiers started off the tournament slow, but thanks to Cole Starnes' 6 under in round 2, they gained some momentum. Going into round 3, however, they needed to make up some ground, but only had one Hoosier shoot below par, Nick Paizen. Paizen finished off the tournament at even par and was 15th overall, while Cole Starnes finished 30th. The Hoosiers will rest up this weekend before they travel to Bluffton, South Carolina to participate in the Colton Region River Collegiate.
It was another split meet weekend for the Hoosiers, as a variety of athletes was sent to Nashville and Boston. Here's a recap from an action-packed slate of events. Headlining the weekend in Boston was sophomore Veronica Hargrave, who broke her own Indiana school record in the 800. Her time of 2 minutes and 1 second was good for 5th place and is currently ranked top 10 in the nation. Sprints and mid-distance excelled in Nashville. Ava Olamaje placed 2nd and PR'd in the 200. Aaliyah Johnson took silver in the 60-meter dash, and Sierra Kepner followed up with another 2nd place in the 600. For the men, Tyler Carroll took 1st in the pole vault off of a 5.5-meter clear. Traley Banks and Josiah Rogers went 2 and 3 in the 60-meter dash, coming within a 100th of a second of each other. In the weight throw, Hunter Smith and Nicholas Sideros took 2nd and 3rd as well. Overall, it was a very promising weekend for the Hoosiers, who have one more meet in Notre Dame this Saturday before heading to the Big Ten Championships.
Now joining us this week for this week's Candy Stripe calendar report is Grace Jeffer. Grace?
Thanks, Oliver. There's a lot going on this weekend for Indiana athletics. Let's take a look. Throughout the weekend, women's swim and dive will compete in the Women's Big Ten Championship in Minneapolis. Baseball travels to Jacksonville, Florida for the Live Like You Jacksonville Baseball Classic. They open the weekend against number 2 LSU. It's senior day for wrestling as the Hoosiers host Purdue at Wilkinson Hall at 7. In West Lafayette, men's basketball goes head-to-head with number 7 Purdue, hoping to recreate their earlier win over the Boilermakers this season. On Saturday, track and field competes in the Alex Wilson Invitational in South Bend. Softball continues to play in Tampa for the USF tournament, starting with St. Joseph's at 9. Baseball remains in Jacksonville to face UCF at 4. Sunday features another early start for softball as Indiana takes on Marist at 9, followed by Boston College at 11:30. Baseball closes out the Classic against the Fighting Irish at 11. To wrap up the weekend, Indiana women's basketball returns home from their trip out west. They host the Oregon Ducks at 1. That's all I've got for this week's Candy Stripe calendar. Back to you.
Thanks, Grace. And that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports to keep up with all the latest in IU athletics. For our production crew behind us, I'm Caleb Robbins.
And I'm Oliver Carr. We'll see you next week.